Hey everyone! So today's video we are going to be participating in the Scrapbooking with Me weekend challenge. We're having a color challenge. This is the photo. I have found this on Pinterest and just thought it was very summery and perfect for July, so we're going to jump right on in. And I knew I wanted to kind of go with that theme of popsicles and create a bright and just cheery card. So I'm going to start off first with my sentiment, which is ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. And I stamped that right in the center in the very bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and put some clear embossing powder on it because I did use the VersaFine Black Onyx ink. And then after I heat that up, I'm going to go ahead and start stamping my popsicles. Now, I will tell you, I do a little bit at a time and then heat emboss and then stamp some more and then heat emboss. And I do it that way only because thankfully VersaFine stays wet long enough that you could stamp a few, then cover with the embossing powder. And as long as you don't brush it or touch it, you can keep adding items to your card and then heat all at once. So that is something that you can do, which I'm going to show you here because I'm going to do this big one first, I believe. And then I wind up doing some smaller ones. And when I do those, the bigger ones that we're doing right here are already heat embossed and, yeah, heat embossed and ready to go. And I'm just using regular clear embossing powder. I like that on the Versamar or VersaFine because it just gives it a shine. And if you're using like your Zig or your Arteza, I think they call them Arteza, um, real brush markers, the embossing actually creates like a well where you can have better luck of staying in between the lines. Sometimes you still get out of the lines. I think when I'm coloring, I see a few times where I got out of the line, but I really didn't care. I just wanted to have some fun and use bright colors. So all the black that you see on there has been heat embossed with the Versa, well, the Versamark VersaFine Black Onyx ink, and then clear embossing powder. Now I'm grabbing my Zig markers. Now this particular pink that I chose to use, it is a little bit more of a vibrant pink than what was in uh, the photo, but it still spoke bright and cheery and summery to me. So yeah, I did it. I did it. I changed it a little bit. It's okay. It's a challenge, I'm using most of the colors. I'm good with that. So the hearts I used a little bit darker pink, almost like a plummy pink. I'm using a light green, like a greeny yellow, and then on that last one I was gonna do, I think it was the yellow, and then I decided, well, it was right next to yellow, so I just grabbed and did a little bit of the pink. Now on these other uh, popsicles, I'm using the purple and I'm just very lightly pulling out the color. There really wasn't a purple in the picture itself, but if you're gonna have blues, yellows, greens, and pinks, I think you need some purple in there. So I went with the purple. And then what I decided to do was I found some pattern paper that was in my stash, and I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to use as my matte and um, what color did I want to put beneath the actual popsicle, the focal image that we use. So at this point, I'm cutting my base paper, which I was using a 12 by 12, so I just cut it down to 11 by 4 1/4, so that way it would be a top folding card. It actually winds up being side, because I like doing that with the top folding, turning it on the side to make it a side opening card. This is one of my favorite methods. And then I cut everything at the normal 1/8 inch size. Okay, so the mat for the pattern paper was 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and then I did the pattern paper at 5 1/4 by 4, which was perfect. But when I went to do my focal image here, I noticed that there's not a lot of the pattern paper, and at that point, it's kind of like, because I liked the pattern paper because I felt like it had a lot of those colors in it, that matched the color scheme. So what I decided to do at that point was to trim down the mat for the focal image, and then I trimmed down the focal image as well. I took some off the top because I didn't want to take it off the bottom because I would have taken the wording. I would have, I would have took too much off by the sentiment. So I took it off on the top and then off of one of the sides. So now we're starting to attach everything by using our ATG. No, this time I used my Tombow adhesive and the art glitter glue. And we're going to attach the focal image, and you can see here by cutting it down you get a little bit more of that image around our focal image, so that way it's not just a little bit of it pinking out, you get a little bit more of that texture all around. And then I decided to grab the Nuvo glitter drops. This one is in Sherbert Shimmer. And what's really cool is it almost, it looks like sprinkles, like a little bit, because I only did the small dots all the way around. And when it dries, it actually goes a little bit of a darker pink. It's really cool. And it looks like little hard candies on top of the card. I was trying to show you on my phone the color image, but what I'll try and do is insert a picture in here if I can, so that way you can kind of see it side by side. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out, so if I can, I will. So here are close-ups of the final project. This was a lot of fun. I like these color challenges. Sometimes I like to do it with just the paper. Sometimes I do like to color because it gives me an excuse to play with different mediums and stuff. So, definitely take a look out. If you're not a member, you head over to Scrapbooking with Me Boutique Members Room. The link is going to be down below. And make sure you guys head over to scrapbookingwithme.com. They have a new rewards program. So at the end, when you check out, hit or type in the word rewards and you get entered into the program. And you get also, I believe it's 15% off. All right. And they'll have links here to previous weekend challenges. And I hope that you guys have a great day.